should be it. Hello, and welcome to the World at War. Our Scion 2nd Edition Chronicle here on Dire Bear. I'm your GM for the evening, or excuse me, story guide for the evening, Jason from over the Nerd Turtle Network. And with me as usual will be Sarah playing Sasha, Eric playing Connor, Rap playing Jaden, Decca playing Talarius, and Duba playing Robert. We're having some technical issues, so, Duba is with us here in spirit.
Decca is with us here in spirit.
Decca is.
Did I say Duba?
Said,
My bad.
yeah.
I've got both the D names right next to each other on my screen. Just throwing them out.
Yeah. You did that to yourself.
I did. I did not think about it when I did it. Just 1 second. Alright, so who remembers what we were doing last time?
Getting beat up by frat boys.
Independently getting our asses whipped.
What are you talking about? I came out fine.
Except
You
for
had
Hilarious, who never
with
left his apartment.
That's true. Talarius never left his apartment.
Talarius never left his
There.
apartment, and you had other people
There.
helping you out with the fighting.
That's true.
Sounds like your problem.
So yes, basically, after the events of the previous session, when you got some of the alpha dogs arrested, the rest of their little frat or whatever you'd call it now,
Organization, cult.
gang, any of those words could be it. You really don't know. But the ones of you they could track down, they tracked down. Basically, they didn't find anybody's home. Well, except maybe Sasha. Well, Sasha's grandparents live at their shop. But Robert, they jumped at the work site, next to where y'all had fought a bunch of them. Everybody else they managed to track down to somewhere they worked. The dojo in Connor's case, the wilderness survival class, or however you'd call it, that Jaden does, and Sasha's grandparents' gardening shop. In the midst of the fighting, with every squad that went out, we'll call them packs since they go with the dog motif. For every pack that showed up, somebody in that pack had an unnatural ability that became apparent as you were fighting them.
Yes.
I forget who exactly dealt with what, other than I remember Jaden was dealing with the fellow that took on a almost stone-like appearance.
Jaden had stone.
Jaden had stone. Sasha had fire.
And Robert also had to deal with fire.
Fire, and then
Connor had electricity.
Mm-hmm.
For all the good it seemed to do any of those guys.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Most of them ran from the police, so
they got a bit of their toe shot off.
Yeah.
Oh, at least the guy that was stoned.
Yeah.
That poor fella's not going to be having a good time when his stone ability wears off.
Mm-hmm.
Fire guy got shot.
Yeah.
He did.
So
With
go
a
to the
shotgun.
hospital. Tell the cops go to the hospital, and you might find them.
Well, most of them were pretty well laid out when the cops showed up. I think Jaden's crew ran away.
Mm-hmm.
Did everybody get away?
All of them ran away.
Sasha's?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sasha, Robert, and Jaden's people left.
Okay.
But because Connor had a whole bunch of other people with him fighting, they were able to knock all of them out. Or almost all of them out, so they didn't run away.
All three. got KO'd.
At least the last one was trying to run away, and I think he caught a staff to the back of the head.
He did.
Yeah.
Connor's like, I mean, this almost 18,000-pound staff of black iron just clong.
So yeah.
Depending on how we want to run the weight, given the legend of the Ryu Jingabong.
Yeah, I'm trying to decide if it would cost you more to basically make it where it's so heavy that nobody but you could pick it up.
It could be like a Mjolnir thing, where it's like a worthiness or ownership kind of thing.
Could be.
Well, in the Legends, it was just that Mjolnir was so heavy. I don't know. We'll think about it.
Yeah. I'll have to take a flaw if we do.
Might be something where it requires you to have epic strength or something. I don't know. So anyway, in all your cases, the police, with the exception, of course, of Talarius, the police show up at the dojo. They arrest everybody because there's plenty of witnesses as to what happened. Everywhere else, they show up and they take reports.
Sasha was recording the whole thing, so she gave that video over to him.
Okay.
Jaden was having her students take pictures of the people. So,
Welcome
if
to
anybody
social
did,
media.
But unlike our last game, in this one, you don't have to be afraid of the social media.
Yeah.
At least not yet.
I think that's what it is that we all were like so afraid of it from the Camarilla, like in the Inquisition last game, that we're just like, fuck it, everyone with the phone, everyone start recording.
Could be.
I mean, that's pretty much life right now. Pull your phone!
Yeah.
me.
Well, anyway, so the police, they take reports. One of the officers, Sasha, is one of the same ones that had taken reports the first time you fought these guys. He tells you, your grandparents might want to close up shop for a day or two, which they probably have to do some repairs anyway. But but they might, if they've got friends in the area, they might want to stay with them. Just until we get a handle on these guys, police are still trying to figure out how many of them there are. Other groups have been up to other things. You folks aren't the only people dealing with them, but apparently they're carrying a grudge after the other day.
She will take that advice and attempt to convince her grandparents just to stay at her apartment.
Good luck.
She'll try.
They are both. It's actually surprisingly easy to convince them to stay over just for a day or two. Your grandfather gets put some plywood up over the busted out window. They spend the rest of the day getting it kind of sealed back up. And then as soon as you get them to your apartment, they're like poking around and
there's like nothing there.
Judging but not judging.
It's very bare.
Your grandmother starts talking about, well, you need curtains here and this and have you thought about doilies?
It's fine. It's fine.
Your grandfather's more focused on things like, you need a recliner. Everybody needs a recliner. He's all about comfort stuff. And a big TV. That wall would hold a nice big TV. Do you have cable?
I'll take your considerations into consideration.
But it doesn't take you long to figure out why they hadn't actually been over to your apartment before, which is probably why they were so quick to agree to it.
Yep.
Some of the same stuff goes on at the dojo. As far as putting plywood up over the windows, calls are made to the windows places. But what was his name?
Jin.
Yeah. He also spends a lot of time on the phone with the parents of the younger students. Calling them all up, explaining what happened, that everybody's okay.
Yeah.
It's kind of split between which kids seem to be borderline traumatized and which ones just think this was the neatest thing they ever saw.
Man, this dojo has it all.
They're really interested in your staff.
Yeah. At this point, he's just sort of just sitting there watching everything happen. It's in pin form right now, and he's twirling it between his fingers.
But let's see. Jake, I don't think there was actually all that much damage.
The window that they threw the brick through.
That's right. They
window,
did
the
throw
table.
They did throw a brick through a window, and they did smash it. Well, that was like one folding table, though. That's
Yeah. It's a quick trip to Walmart, but it's still something.
Yeah, this is true. And Robert had a door frame he had to fix, I think. So really, it was kind of their attack was kind of underwhelming, all in all. Though in Connor's case, there was also somebody's going to have to file an insurance report for their vehicle.
You say that, and yet they drove a car through the dojo.
Yeah.
That's that. While underwhelming to the supers that are us, or I guess they're not technically supers, but you know what I mean. It's still pretty damaging to as far as insurance costs or an adjuster.
Yeah.
And all of you see insurance adjusters by the end of the day.
I'm not surprised.
Of course, it makes the news. So let's see. Had Hilarious called them up?
At literally towards the end, they called them up. They called they called everybody up and were like, "Okay, what happened? What happened? What happened? What happened?" And got everyone's information. Specifically told Sasha that you all are welcome to stay at my place, and they are generally trying to get everyone to kind of come together to it in a centralish location, away from loved ones who can get beat up. I remember that was one of the last things they did at the end of the session was wait, the media is gonna call you. They're just don't answer it. They're just gonna, and then Sasha informed them what happened.
Sure enough, the media does show up, at all these locations. Are any of you going to take time out to speak with them?
I think Hilarious would, but it's if they go to them, if the media goes to them, I think it would be less of anything of substance. It's more this gang violence has to stop in these neighborhoods. What happened to Olympus? We used to be peace loving. Now people are getting beat up at work.
Well, they're not showing up at anybody's apartments. They're showing up at the places these incidents took place.
Sure. No, I understand. I'm just that, like I said, Hilarious. That's what I'm saying. Hilarious would show up over to one of those places if that was the case.
Ah.
Yeah, and they would they would kind of like speak on behalf as the person who has recorded the first instance.
So is anybody planning to take Telarius up on his offer, on their offer?
Of staying at his place,
Mm-hmm.
correct?
There, yeah.
Okay, Discord.
I
So-
mean,
Just do it.
Robert would probably consider it, but at the same time, they don't know where he lives. They only know that of where he works, which is happens to be conveniently next to their little haven of a place.
Jaden's gonna decline
Eh,
because
you're lost.
she does have the puppers at home to protect
Bring
her.
the
if
puppers. I
anything.
love them.
Does her pupper count as a pupper or puppers?
That is the question.
Good question.
Calls it puppers.
That's a
but it's-
philosophical question we don't have time for.
Fair enough. Fair enough. You are deities of action, not philosophy.
They'll just be like, bring the puppers. I love dogs. Dog, whatever. Bring them over. It's fine.
Sasha
Eh,
would
Go ahead.
probably go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was just trying to think. Would Robert take it? And
You don't have to.
yeah, probably not, because again, they know where he works, not where he lives. So he'd probably be like,
Right.
good.
And then they brick it. And then they brick Robert's house.
Roll his yard and then set it all on fire.
Oh God.
Okay. It lives now.
What's your Discord?
Yeah, it started just freaking out.
Today's
Okay.
just the day for technical issues, I guess.
I guess.
Oh, what were you saying, Zay, about Sasha?
She would say she'd consider it, but then after probably 2 to 3 hours of her grandparents offering design tips, she would have Smoochum stay at the apartment with them to guard
Mhm.
and probably come over.
And they would give perfect directions to their apartment complex.
Yeah, she just walks the
Just,
whole way.
just let me know which one you take. I'll make sure it's useful.
It's like audible confusion, but she's like, okay. There's more than one?
I own the second floor.
Okay.
It's just okay.
She's like processing, okay.
Connor
But they
honest.
will.
Sorry.
Go ahead. No,
Look,
go ahead.
Connor would probably not go. He would stick around to make sure that none of the other profile groups that he tracks in his neighborhood try to take it at an opportunity to do something.
Like I said, Telarius will take whoever wants to come in, and then they will take to the news and just like get on that just decry gang violence the entire time. Nothing
Uh,
useful, just keeping themselves like smearing the alpha dogs.
So Sasha, you show up at the apartment that you were given directions to. And let's see, this all happened shortly after your grandparents' shop opened, so it's probably only late afternoon by now. When you get there, it's like a 5-story building or something. It's not like a skyrise or anything. But as you're walking up, there's just a ton of butterflies on the side of it. Like actual butterflies, not like graffiti or
Not like
anything.
painted.
Yeah. Just like a bunch of monarch butterflies. This is not the time of year that you usually have butterflies.
That's a thing. And just kind of watching it and just goes inside. Are they concentrated anywhere on the building or just all over it?
Kind of the middle of the building. I
Okay.
mean, not like concentrated on one floor or anything like that.
Yeah, just like centralized,
Mhm.
kind of center building. Okay.
So you go up. I don't know if he has to buzz you in or how that works, but
They'll just they will yeah, they'll buzz them in.
okay.
What they'll probably do is meet them on like the second floor and have to explain everything. Yeah, going viral has its privileges.
It appears so. Do you have a bug problem outside?
No?
There's a lot of butterflies.
Am I aware that there's a lot of butterflies?
You were not. However, as Sasha is talking about this, Telarius would notice a butterfly kind of crawl up on her shoulder like it was on her back.
Oh,
And then
I
by the
guess you
time you
can't
notice
see
it,
me like
it
doing a
flutters
weird
off
look.
and starts fluttering down the hallway.
How about that? Well, make yourself at home. I will take care of things that aren't related to that butterfly going down the hall.
Okay.
They go and see what's up with the butterflies.
Oh, you step outside, you see a bunch of butterflies on the wall.
All right then.
Uh,
I keep making like faces, like you guys can see me make faces.
We can imagine them.
Yeah.
You have to take,
But
you
they
have
like
to take selfies of your expressions and post them on the Discord.
Mm.
They just have like a look of like, that's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Are they doing anything?
They're just
doing
seem to
the
be hanging out.
Macarena, dancing.
The trick is it's too cold for butterflies to be around, so that's a little weird.
I've ever seen butterflies like come out in mass is like Central Texas during the spring, but this ain't none of those.
This is Nebraska, and it's also not spring.
Right. They'll just look at it and all right, have fun, little ones, I guess. And they'll turn around and head back over towards Sasha. Cool icon idea. Cool logo idea though. That's just what they're thinking on their way up, back up.
All right, so Sasha spends the night somewhere on your second floor.
Mm.
Now, do you have the second floor like it's all open, or do you have the individual apartments on the second floor?
A little bit of both. There's like it's like it's like converted apartments that are just guest rooms now.
Okay.
But there's like open area, where people can go to, like, say, have a dog, or any of that stuff.
Okay.
But there's like open areas to look out, and there's of course the main penthouse, I guess.
Or suite or whatever.
Suite, yeah, sure. Where they
Alright.
they live.
The guest rooms Sasha is shown to has more furniture in it than her entire apartment.
That's not hard.
Is there a recliner? There's already more furniture.
There's a bed, a nightstand, and a couch.
Oh my. Such decadence.
We're living large, folks. She will at some point just kind of sneak back out to go check up on Smoochums and her grandparents and then come back, but she would let Telarius know that she's going over
How
there.
many
And then
times does Sasha walk across this town in a day?
that girl gets her steps in. Her calves are amazing.
So the rest of the day
Pokemon Go Step?
passes.
There's a
Yeah.
roof.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Dicka.
No, I was just making a smart ass comment. I was like, Pokemon Go Steps through the roof.
She's got so much candy.
So yeah, night passes uneventfully. Connor does some patrolling. Maybe there's a person after. It's just kind of the normal stuff. Fairly slow night for him.
Yeah.
You wind up getting bored and going home, pretty early.
Gotcha.
The news the next day is still talking to some degree about the attacks that y'all dealt with. There is some reports of gang violence in other parts of the town, kind of surrounding the 2 or 3 neighborhoods that y'all kind of all live in, fairly close together. But it seems to be gang on gang. There's some theorizing that the alpha dogs may be, that they're using the motif of this old fraternity, but that they may just be a new gang moving in the area. And they go back over reports of, the protection racket kind of stuff they were trying to do. There's no footage of them of these gangs fighting each other, but eyewitness reports make it sound like at least one side of the conflict was the alpha dogs. So there's some concern that this new gang may be trying to make it like a major play.
Yeah.
Let's see. Who do we want to start with? Robert.
Yes, sir.
Are you going to go back to work at that same spot the next day? Or are you going to take the police's advice? They advise you to kind of lay low for a day or two.
He's gonna listen to the cops and just like, yeah, the owner's just gonna have to understand there's some BSery going on, and I'm not getting involved.
Well,
At
you'd
least not
you'd
anymore.
already warned them to expect some kind of, or that there might possibly be some kind of delay.
Yeah, he kind of forewarned them ahead of time, like, hey, might be some delay on some of the renovations. I apologize in advance. Hope you understand.
Yeah, and they took it pretty
Yeah.
well. You've been very on point so far. So
Yeah, that's why he made sure to call them ahead of time, like, yeah, I'm gonna let y'all know this now before it becomes a problem.
and you call your little sometimes partner helper guy, because you had been I think I mentioned last time that you were wrapping up kind of the solo work. There was some bigger stuff, that 2-man jobs you were about to do. So, but you call him, let him know to take the day off. Looking around for something to do, you notice a like a little flyer was stuck in your mailbox, inviting you to try a new bar. Well, it's not a new bar, but it's under new ownership, so they're kind of doing a reopening.
Okay. So just trying to drum up a little bit of publicity.
Mm-hmm. And it's in the neighborhood. It's like, somebody's been going around handing out, putting flyers out.
Hey, I mean, he's strongly considerate.
I mean, maybe not this early in the morning, but
Oh yeah, no, he'd probably consider it like later on in the evening when it's more appropriate to actually go to a bar.
Connor.
Yes.
You get up the next day. Is Connor an early riser, or does the fact that he runs around at all hours of the night make him sleep in?
He has a pretty solid schedule. As long as he gets in bed by about like midnight, 1 in the morning. He can get up by about 5:30.
Okay. So you're up. You go for your morning run. I don't know if Connor gets his news from a newspaper, or more likely just online or TV.
Yes.
But you see the reports of the gang violence, and you recognize some of the other gangs mentioned that they're a problem, but they're not like a huge problem in the town. You don't figure they would stand much of a chance against what you've seen of the alpha dogs so far, especially not if some of them are having supernatural abilities.
Yeah. Interesting.
As you're running along, you two find a flyer in the mail
Mm-hmm.
to this bar called the Rubicon.
Really?
Okay.
And you think you've heard of the bar before.
Okay.
Like I said, it's like they're doing a re-grand opening because there's a new owner or something. But it wasn't called the Rubicon before. That's a new title. But just glancing at the address, you're pretty sure you've been by there before.
All right.
Uh,
Probably swing by at some point.
But your run goes without too much incident. A few people you run past act like they recognize you.
Mm-hmm.
You're past them too fast to like catch anything they're saying, but
Yeah.
but you did make the news 2 days in a row now, so you know.
Fair enough.
Plus, folks in the neighborhood are somewhat aware of some of your nocturnal daring do's.
Yeah.
Particularly right around where you live in the dojo.
Mm-hmm.
Jaden, you get up. Like everybody else, police have suggested that you lay low for a day or two. You gonna take their advice, or you gonna go back to class?
Well, she's going to take the advice because the other people must have kind of been shocked and in shock because of what they witnessed. So she's going to give them a day off.
Yeah, as they were leaving, some of them seemed to be a little hesitant about coming back.
Yeah.
Particularly to that one lady that kept asking me about cryptids and stuff. That she always seemed a little nervous about going out in the wilderness. She was definitely shaken up.
Now she'll be worried about going anywhere into a store.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no.
She just seems a little high strung in general. But anyway. Talarius and Sasha. Oh wait, I wasn't done with Jaden. My bad. Jaden, like Robert and Connor, you also have a flyer in the mail. When you put the flyer down, though, for some reason, Spruce keeps coming over and sniffing it. Which is funny to see because each head is kind of bumping the other two trying to bump the other two out of the way to get a good whiff. Which goes on for a minute or two, and then the grumpy head starts snapping at the other two.
Mm-hmm.
But it can never turn far enough to actually bite one of them. It just kind of presses up against him and snaps his jaws.
Yeah.
It's still a cut your BS out.
And what's the flyer for again? This is the name of
A
the
bar
place?
called the Rubicon.
Excuse me.
And, it's got a little logo of like a Roman legion at a river or something.
Okay. She's gonna take the paper and put it away so they can stop fighting over it.
No, they stop fighting as soon as you pick the paper up. They're like, and then you lay it in a cabinet or something. They go over there sitting by the cabinet. You know, until they get bored and wander off. Talarius and Sasha. Let's see. Talarius, are you an early riser?
No.
What about Sasha?
Yes.
All right, so Sasha wakes up just before sunup. You wake up, and for just a second, you know, you're kind of alarmed. You're in a different place. You know, this bed is too soft.
What's this? Oh, it's a nightstand. Okay.
Yeah, and then it all comes back to you. Like I said, the sun starts to come up. You glance out the window. There's butterflies on the window.
That's really weird.
Now, the ones on your window aren't moving anymore. They're actually covered in frost. There was a very light frost the night before.
That's really weird and really sad. And she like opens the window and knocks him off.
You know, they snap in two and they fall off and they flutter around. Makes you think of an old World War I movie your grandfather was watching one time when one of the planes gets a wing shot off and it's just while the wing spirals off.
That's enough morbidity for the morning. Let's find a breakfast.
All right, so you trot out to the kitchen.
Easy enough.
Does Talarius keep a well-stocked breakfast nook?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, they do. They have to do like, every now and again they'll do like it's what I'm eating today.
Just proof I eat.
No, it's big fancy breakfast when they're filming, but when they're not filming, it's like Pop-Tarts and a glass of milk.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But they do have the stuff to make a big breakfast. It's just what they eat off camera. It's just Pop-Tarts and like a glass of milk.
So you start cooking up an elaborate breakfast. You know, they've got eggs or bacon or whatever.
She probably just makes toast.
Ah.
Like, this is good.
Talarius will wake up at like noon or so, or like 11ish or noon, and just be like scratching themselves, like, oh, you're here.
You still have butterflies outside.
I'm not sure what's up with that, but
There's also one in the kitchen, kind of kind of high up, close to the ceiling. Probably the same one that fluttered in with you yesterday.
I think it's stalking you.
look, if you they'll look up at it and if you're trying to tell me something, you can't do it as a butterfly.
Do you know this butterfly?
No, but weird stuff has happened. I assume shapeshifting is in, even though I've never seen it, or at least never in life.
Mm-hmm. It'd be really weird if it turned into something.
It would, wouldn't it?
It sits there and continues to not turn into anything.
Yeah, it's like they probably just stare at it for like a solid 5 minutes, like,
Yeah, it's peculiar.
Only at
But
one
they'll
point during
look
that 5 minutes doesn't move at all. Just kind of flexes his wings.
Well, if you're not going to do anything interesting, I'm going to go back to making breakfast. You stay right there. They point at the butterfly and make their own breakfast. breakfast in air quotes.
First meal.
Well,
At
if it
some
was a
point,
hobbit, it'd be like
while you're fixing your
11
breakfast,
Z's.
it has flown off.
As far as hobbits go, it's like 11 Z's.
Fair.
But Pop Tarts, milk. That's what they got.
All right. If you check your mail at some point, you also find one of these flyers.
I'll show it to Sasha. Like,
Uh,
that's weird. They could have picked a
though
better
in
name.
your case, they seem to have messed up and put 2 in the mailbox.
Oh yeah, messed up, huh? Just look at them and like, I'll hand one to Sasha and be like, they really couldn't have picked a more on the nose name.
What do you mean?
Rubicon, you know, the whole. They're like making hand motions like a river or something.
I mean, there are
Never
many
mind.
more popular rivers.
Yeah, but this one's it's never mind. I wonder if it's nautical themed. That would be the kicker. If it was like nautical themed, it feels like a boat or something.
Well, you can
Does the
see the logo in
flyer-
the flyer.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
What'd you say, Jason?
I said you can see the bar's logo is like a Roman legion at a river.
Yeah. Something about crossing a Rubicon. Do you want to go get drunk tonight? Like holding it up.
I've never been drunk.
Do you want to go try to get drunk?
Not particularly. If you wish to imbibe, I will accompany you.
Do you? They like put their hands together like they're about to like have a discussion. And they kind of like
Boy.
look at yeah. They look at Sasha and they're like, "You always talk like that?"
Yes?
Okay. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. Like if that's how you talk, that's how you talk. It's just. I mean, how old are you?
Oh god, I forgot how old I made her. It wasn't like crazy old. It was like middle 30s.
Yeah, I think Connor may have been the oldest of you.
Yeah, Connor was
No.
dad. Group dad.
Robert's
No,
the
Robert was group
oldest,
dad.
That's
and
right. That's right.
everybody else is under
Robert-
30.
Robert's. Yeah, Robert's like 35. I think I put Hilarious
Oh.
at like 29. At 29.
Okay, I think I
Yeah.
put her, yeah. I originally was
Connor
going to have her
was
middle 30s.
Connor was like 28. I don't remember how old you put yours. And
We're going to say
Jaden-
27.
Jaden is 22. Babu.
Okay. So Jaden's the baby.
Yes.
But everybody is
yeah.
drinking age.
Yeah.
I think
Right.
we've had that discussion.
Mm-hmm.
We had that
Conveniently.
discussion session 0. So yeah, they're looking at Sasha like, how old are you?
27.
You talk like you're much older than me. Like again, I'm not judging you. If that's how you talk, that's how you talk.
I believe it is a combination of not getting out a lot and not socializing with many people near my age.
That's fair. That's fair. I mean, you know, if that's how you do it, I assume you're well read then. If you speak like that, I might be wrong in generalizing, but you know.
Kind of shrugs.
Most people who you know have uh erudition, I guess, they like using words they don't understand, um tend to have are more intelligent, but sometimes that's also not true either, so I don't know yet.
There are different levels of intelligence. There are book smarts and social smarts and street smarts. It appears you have both street smarts and social smarts, so you're ahead of me.
It's not a competition.
No, just an observation.
Fair. I'll give you that. But yeah, maybe we should go and scope it out. Maybe if it's good, I'll give it a the old good review. I
It
gotta
would
make sure to
be
make it an 18
something
plus
for
video.
your videos.
Yeah.
Do I need to check with them first?
I mean, I guess I could call them up if they're open. Does the flyer have their hours of operating?
Yes, it does.
Okay. Are they currently open at like 11:30 a.m.?
Yes.
Okay.
They serve lunch.
Hilarious will Hilarious will call them up and be like, is this the Rubicon?
What kind of personality is this guy gonna have?
Should
Yes,
have a
it is.
D12 of personalities.
Yes, it is.
Y'all are open at 11:30?
Yes, it's when we open. We do a
Ah.
slight lunch business, so
You do a luncheon before people get sloshed. I like it. Repeat business. Smart.
yeah, you want as many different revenue streams as possible.
I understand that. I mean, I got a couple of flyers in the mail actually.
Came back.
Really?
I was thinking of checking it out. Do you mind if say, just theoretically, if there was like somebody coming in and was like trying to do like one of those big reviews that you see on YouTube or whatever, if that would be okay?
Oh, sure. Oh, hey,
Just
come
trying to
in
get a
and tell
scope out the
people.
place. Yeah, that's the idea. Then come
Yes.
in, take a few pictures. Maybe a couple of videos of maybe your bartender does something crazy with the drinks. I don't know.
Tom Cruise, I am not.
Fair enough. So yeah, I'll probably get on about there towards the end of the evening. We'll see how we're feeling. But yeah, if I am, just expect a
Oh,
review.
we'd be glad to see you. And by all means, get online and tell people, how your experience went.
Alrighty, well, you have a good day then. Goodbye.
You too.
Click. And then they look. I guess that's okay with them.
No harm in
Pictures of
checking.
solutions. No harm in checking. You're right. I want to get pictures of smoochums now.
Why?
Just an interesting animal.
Beast.
An interesting animal with an interesting name.
If you must.
Maybe, but that's a later on tonight thing. Maybe after we've gotten a few drinks.
She just kind of nods. I'm going to go check on my grandparents.
Yes, of course. Go do that. Be careful. Be safe.
Just kind of nods and out the door. And probably butterflies. Might grab like one of them that fell to show her grandparents. Just be like, "Are these common this time of year?"
Okay. Now you can find the one that fell from your window, or well, one of the ones where you brushed your window off. There's still a bunch of them up on the side of the building. None of them seem to be moving at this point, though.
That's really weird.
Well, not if they're frozen like yours was.
Yeah, still. Just the whole thing's kind of weird. She like snap a picture of it.
Nature is healing.
By dying on the side of a building.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hilarious will upload that video that they had been working on. Finally.
It starts getting hits almost immediately. You're talking about the one
Oh,
that
yeah.
was the combat
Yeah. The combat one. Making sure everyone looks good. Making sure that the clear people who are the opposition are the opposition.
Uh, yeah, like I said, it starts getting hits immediately.
Mhm.
Sasha, you get over to your grandparents. How well stocked is Sasha's kitchen?
It's definitely got basics. It's not like bare bones or anything. She keeps it stocked. She just lives very sparsely, minimally.
Okay.
Spartan.
Yeah.
Spartan
But
snacks.
You know, red capes, no shirts. It's very Spartan.
there's like a shield somewhere in the house. No. It's got food that she knows her grandparents would eat.
Okay.
So, I mean, there might be. You know?
Well, you're getting there at 11 anyway, so they've already eaten breakfast.
Oh yeah.
Vegemite.
When you get there, it's just your grandmother there. She tells you your grandfather went out to the shop to meet up with the guys putting in the new window.
She gets nods, scritching smoochums. Have you seen this before this time of year? Hands over the dead butterfly.
Oh, they're not usually. No, you don't usually see them until well into the spring. Where in the world did you find this poor little guy?
There was a flock, I would assume, yeah, flock, on one of my acquaintances' building.
Oh, one of your acquaintances from the other night?
Yes.
She almost said it.
And she's like, no, we are not friends.
Slayer says his heart.
So much others like, oh.
So which one of them was it you were staying
Gut
with?
punch.
The one with the phone and the videos.
So not the one that was on the roof.
No.
Oh, okay.
Why she sounds so disappointed.
She's like, no, I wonder if somebody was keeping it in their house and let it out, or it got out.
There were very, very many of them. I don't know why they would be keeping that many in their house, unless they are weird.
Well, you got plenty of weirdos around.
This is very true.
But Smoochums is happy to see you.
Like leans over like,
And then he walks over to the front door and just looks at you expectantly.
Walk
oh.
me now.
It's 11. He hasn't been out of the house yet.
This is true. I'll take him off your hands for the day. Are you okay here? Do you need him to pick up anything?
No, I'll be fine. You know, once your grandfather's finished with the window guy, we may go out and pick up some more groceries. When I saw the apartment, I was worried your refrigerator would be just as empty, but it wasn't quite that bad.
I'm just not sure what to put up yet.
We'll have to go shopping sometime, pick some stuff out. Go to the fabric store and we can make some curtains.
That kind of like pained look like, sure.
Yes, I'd love to do that.
I would love nothing more. Oh, gotta go. Smoochum needs a walk.
So you take him down to the park. While you want to be a responsible pet owner, you know, clean up after your animal, Smoochums, unfortunately, his rear end is a small hippopotamus, so his little tail starts going 90 nothing. It's just like a sprinkler.
She at least makes sure Smoochums is like off in a corner of a park before going all
All hippo.
all hippo. She at least makes sure of that.
You learn the hard way
Not like
not to let him near water before he relieves himself, because he'll go in and mark the ponds as his.
Jesus
I mean,
Christ.
one
Hippos
in
are gross.
winter, they're probably cold.
Mhm.
That's fair enough.
If it was summertime, she might be like, just go for it.
Why is there an algae bloom now in the park?
I don't know, where's damn thing?
Mm-hmm.
And the fish keep dying. It's like the water's toxic now. I don't know. Anyway. It's a little later in the day than you usually take Smoochums out. So he gets some attention. As usual, other dogs tend to stay away from him. A few of the braver ones get between him and their owners and bark a little bit, but people tend to avoid you when you're walking Smoochums too.
Yeah. Which is handy.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
But you do hear a couple of people comment on hey, I think I saw her on the TV last night.
Just her and not Smoochums.
Do it now.
Just commenting that they saw her, not Smoochums, correct?
Well, they had reacted to Smoochums first and kept their distance, and then you heard one of them say that, presumably about you.
Okay. She would find an alley or somewhere to duck into,
Okay.
and then she has a trickster knack called In Sheep's Clothing. And it allows her to, without needing to roll, change her hair, skin, eye color, apparent gender, height within a few inches.
So it's not a full shape shift. You can look like a different person.
Yeah.
Okay.
She could like change her hair color, eye color, skin color, gender. So she's
Okay.
she's at least going to change her hair color to, she has currently like a dark brown black hair. She's going to change it to, we'll say a blonde, like a middle range blonde,
Okay.
and different color eyes. We'll say she has green right now. She's going to go to brown, and then ducks back out again.
Okay. You get the same reaction from people saying Smoochums, but nobody else recognizes you during your walk.
Okay.
You get back home without incident. By the time you get home, Smoochums is ready to go back inside because it's cold.
Yeah.
And he doesn't have a
He
whole lot
doesn't
of
have
hair.
a dog sweater.
Oh, or does he?
I mean, depends on if Grandma's gotten bored enough to make Smoochums a adorable hippo sweater.
But anyway, you get him back home.
And she would have changed back before she came inside.
I was hoping you wouldn't think to.
Nah, she's done that enough to know not to pull it around Grandma or she gets questions.
Okay. I was about to ask if your grandparents were aware you could do that.
Probably.
How aware of your nature are they?
Probably fairly aware.
Okay. Not all the necessarily all the specific details, but they know you're touched by the gods in some way.
Yeah.
All right. Let's just fast forward, unless any of you have something specific you wanted to do during the day. Okay. Do all of you decide to check out the Rubicon?
Robert would.
Hilarious, Will.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jaden would.
Sasha will.
We all just show up conveniently at the same time.
And not
The
not just
flyers.
close together, like you all meet up at the front step about the same time.
It's very concerning.
Well. Hello.
Once is a coincidence, twice is a pattern.
Well, I'm liking the pattern then.
All right. So, should we go in and expect a fight since we're all together?
I don't know if the bartenders would appreciate that. Don't people typically get thrown out of bars for fighting?
Yes.
Unless the whole bar fights, then they can't take everyone out.
Depends on if they are also touched by gods.
What? The what now?
Well, if, say, the barkeeper is touched by the gods, they might be able to move everyone outside easily.
You see that, like, it's a thing that happens.
I don't know. I
It
haven't been to many
is.
bars.
They're just like looking at into Sasha's eyes.
What?
Okay. Nothing. Nothing.
Like, very defiantly opens the door and walks in first.
Connor just happily whistling as he just marches in behind her. He has a pin tucked into his ear, which is his relic.
All right.
I guess we're going in, Robert. We go in.
Hey, you're just
Jaden
like,
will
all right.
bring in the rear.
Anybody walking behind Talaria sees he's got a butterfly on the back of his shirt.
Nice butterfly.
Strange.
Huh?
They're not meant to be
They-
out this time of year. It's far too cold.
They like grab their shirt so that it like pulls forward a little bit so they can see.
And you see it, and it
Yeah,
kind of
they're
flutters
like-
off to somewhere else in the bar,
Told you it's stalking you.
kind of up into the rafters.
Guess butterflies are my thing. I don't know. High fashion. Next trend. Butterflies. I'm gonna make it happen. Not important right now. We're busy. Look up.
What
We're
is with
busy.
you and butterflies?
I don't
Apparently, this isn't the first time.
know. This happened today. I don't know. I
Uh-huh.
don't know what's going on. Just a bunch of butterflies showed up.
Okay.
I mean, was there any blood? Butterflies will drink blood if it is around.
I don't mess with any of
Do
that.
you stash people in your basement?
I don't have a basement. I'm
Are
on
you
the
sure?
second floor. I'm on the second floor. Sasha, you've seen my building.
He is on the second floor. It was also partially covered in butterflies.
You buried them in your wall.
I
They
didn't see
just
any
go
blood.
they go forward and get it and like go get a drink.
As you're walking in, a waitress comes by. She's probably like 6'2". She is a tall woman. Red hair, a whole bunch of freckles kind of across the cheeks, and their nose.
Be still, my beating heart.
Uh,
That's Jeremy talking, not hilarious.
You like
Sorry.
them tall?
and pretty
Hello up
athletic
there,
looking.
Amazon.
So
Yeah.
it's Zay with red hair and freckles. Okay.
She likes him a good Irish
Mm-mm-mm.
lass.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Robert would probably see her and be like, "Well, that's a drink I'd like to have."
Uh,
He'd catch himself like, "Shut up, dumbass! Shut up."
She smiles real big at all y'all. Just tell get a seat wherever.
I'll direct them to like getting a corner seat.
Mhm.
I'll direct everyone to getting like a corner, like booth, so that they can get an eye on everybody. And I'll kind of get everyone like, did you get a flyer too?
Yeah.
You,
Mhm.
you.
But
I
I say
got
Robert.
2 flyers.
I said Robert will literally pull it like out of his jacket, just like, "Here you go."
Wait, when
That
Sasha checked the mail at home, did she have another one there?
No, there wasn't one at your apartment.
That's weird.
well, my apartment got 2 in my mailbox. Did you get one? You went to go check your house, Sasha. Did you get one?
No.
Hmm.
They squint their eyes.
Oh,
Somebody knows something.
So somebody knew
Well-
she was staying with you.
sounds likely.
That's a bit of an assumption. I mean, they could have accidentally put 2.
But then where's yours?
Maybe they didn't canvass my neighborhood. Or maybe my grandmother threw it out before I got home. I don't know.
Hmm.
This is what did I just say? Once is a coincidence, twice is a pattern, 3 is unmistakable.
Like the 3 times with the butterflies?
Well, it's only twice with the butterfly. But sure, that thing's watching us right now. Tis.
Connor looks up. Is it?
It's up on the side of one of the rafters. I mean, y'all have a good, y'all have a pretty good view of it from where you're at, so I guess it could probably see you.
Mhm.
If butterflies can see that far.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, it's over there.
yeah, I know. I kind of had a side eye on it this whole time. It's weird.
Hmm.
Might work into my logo somehow. Hilarious Moriad. And just have the butterflies on the corner of the T and the end of the D.
Hmm.
Waitress comes over. How you folks doing? I'm Carrie. I'll be taking care of you today. What can I get for you?
Well, what do you serve, first off? We just got the flyer, so we got no idea.
Like whisper
Flies?
over, like this is a bar.
Yeah.
You called and they said they served lunch, though, too. Maybe they serve food.
And she's got a couple of menus with her, so yeah, she hands out menus.
Yeah. um,
Think of your typical kind of O'Charlie's,
Americana food.
Applebee's kind of, burgers. There are steaks, that's
it's
chicken tenders.
Jim's. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'll have
Yeah, Connor
uh,
get a.
hmm?
Yeah, Connor would order a burger and probably a beer.
Now, I'll look over at Sasha and be like, now watch this very quick hangover cure that will prevent getting drunk ever. I have tortilla soup and a vodka sour.
She jots it down. All right, so I take that back. She doesn't write anything down, but she nods. And after you all give you your order, she repeats the entire order back to you.
Mm-hmm.
You have tea?
Oh, we do.
Could I have tea and a slice of whatever the day's pie is?
I don't know what would we say. What would be a pie?
Rhubarb. No, please.
Ooh, strawberry
Please don't.
rhubarb.
Strawberry rhubarb it is.
Yes.
Jaden would get a mixed drink, like a fruity one, and mozzarella sticks and quesadillas.
Oh hell
With the
yeah!
classic food orders.
Listen, she's a college
The
student.
DM's
Hey,
the
Fruity
DM's like, I
drinks
will make a
and
note of this.
appetizers is what she survives.
Robert would probably just get probably get a whiskey and a burger.
spoilers, Jaden's blood is actually breaded.
Uh,
So anyway, y'all sit down, y'all are having a meal, probably talking over the events of the last few days. And there are other people here. A couple of guys at the bar, talking to each other, occasionally chewing the fat with the bartender, who's kind of he's a fairly big dude. Not as tall as the waitress, but but he's probably 5'11", 6 foot. But he's fairly stocky.
As we're like eating and like observing, Taylor will be like, "Did you notice that she sound like she didn't know that there was a menu?"
Maybe the owner put it out and didn't let anyone know.
That's four things that are just weird about this picture. I didn't mean to have the real life sound of a pitcher being poured, but here we are.
That's okay. Y'all probably
Someone
hear
was
me when
getting
I
a
pour
refill.
drinks.
Yeah.
It's immersion.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, it's all good.
Connor's just sitting there idly twirling the pin between his fingers.
And by the way, any of you that get booze, they come in big copper tankards.
Yeah.
Oh hell yeah! It's
The tea
Renfest,
is
baby.
the tea is in a glass, but
Nice.
I'm not gonna lie, y'all. I'm a little on edge. Butterflies. That hot waitress has no idea what the flyers are. All of us got one.
oh, except for Sasha.
Well, she was staying with me.
So she got one.
See?
Technically.
See? That works.
I mean, we could always just ask one of them if they know about the flyers and show it to them. If that
Well,
is
when they come back,
concerning you.
a few minutes later,
when
the
they
waitress
come back,
comes
we can
over
ask
and
them.
checks. Y'all doing all right? Need anything else?
No, I'm good for right now.
E- Excuse me. Did you earlier we mentioned like a flyer offhandedly, and you were a little unsure about it, and I pull one of my copies out, and like, you didn't see anything like this?
No, she looks at it. No, I hadn't. I mean, that's our logo. Maybe Anthony put one out. I don't
A
know.
little on the nose. Oh, of course, the owner's name is Anthony. Sorry,
Yeah,
just a little.
he's the owner.
on
He's also the
edge.
bartender. She gestures back to the guy I described earlier.
All right, well, don't. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. But I'm fine. Thank you for checking on us, and they'll be like, can I just a big plate of nachos? Just a huge plate of nachos.
One party platter of nachos coming right up.
And you
That's
said
what
her
I'm
name
talking about.
was
Thank
what
you very much.
again?
Carrie.
Carrie.
Is it Keri or
Kary.
Hmm.
But she goes putting your order nachos, and she's gone before you realize that she never gave you the flyer back.
They like. Hmm. She didn't give it back. She's already gone
Nope.
or whatever.
Yep,
You
goes
can
back in the
ask
kitchen,
her
comes
when she
back out.
gets back.
If y'all are paying attention, you do see her showing it to the guy she identified as Anthony.
Oh, Robert would have been paying attention.
Oh yeah.
He takes it, he looks
Oh yeah,
at
he
it,
would.
he's kind of like, and you see him roll his eyes slightly.
Connor's eyeballing patrons.
Like I said, there's two guys at the bar. There's a couple eating kind of on the opposite side of the room from y'all. There's a younger looking dude playing darts. As you watch him, he's very good. He seems to be getting the bullseye just about every time.
Cool.
It's not even the most efficient way to play. Sorry, my family plays darts.
Does Telerius actually say that?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Plus, it just hilarious. His family play darts.
No. My family plays darts.
But y'all finish up the meal. Carrie checks on you another time or two. Ask you if this is all on one ticket or separate tickets.
Not my own ticket.
Yeah, separate
Yeah.
tickets.
Sure.
Kind
Fun.
of like.
Helping out somebody, maybe. No.
No, I think we're separate. I think we're separate.
We're
Alright.
separate.
Kind of like look at Sasha, like you get Sasha.
It's tea and pie. I can afford tea and pie.
Okay.
So she gets everybody's.
You just looked surprised.
She just kind of shrugs and drinks her tea.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, the meal get together, whatever it was, kind of wraps up.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all pay y'all's tickets. Carrie asks you, how everything was. Hope you had a good, hope you enjoyed it. Hope you come back. Anthony's only recently bought the place.
Did he have someone make the flyer? We saw you showing it to him.
Oh, no, he figures somebody else in the community must have done that for him.
That seems oddly generous.
It's a little weird. I'll admit.
It's pretty weird.
Has anyone else mentioned receiving a flyer?
Not yet, but I guess if they gave him out this morning, maybe not everybody else has made it in.
Isn't it like
Or maybe you guys are special.
evening?
It was
Does she,
late afternoon by the time y'all showed up, so
Mhm.
by now it's probably dark. Yeah, you're actually getting
Yeah.
more of a dinner
Does she
rush
like
in
leave
this
any
morning.
kind of emphasis? Yeah. Does she leave any kind of emphasis on maybe you guys are special that I can pick up on?
Yes, there was an odd emphasis on that.
Okay. Well, all right. Well, the food is great. I appreciate you were a lovely server, waitress.
Oh, well, thank you.
Oh, Tolarius pays their part in cash and leaves a good tip.
Oh, thank you. Slides that into the pocket of Raper.
Probably like
Uh,
25%.
I just read your comment in the chat.
I can't look at chat. I'm so sad.
Sasha's resisting the urge to kind of misguidedly go, all of my friends think you're very hot.
I mean, she would not be wrong in doing it.
Do it.
Ma'am, all of my friends want to climb you like a tree. No.
If you put it like that specifically, yes,
Christ.
that kind of makes it even worse. But
I mean, Connor off to the side. I am a monkey.
She didn't actually
No.
say, she would not actually
No.
say that. She's
Oh
just
my
kind of like,
God.
she's catching the significant glances that are going on, like,
Oh no.
what's this?
Hilarious has a little bit of like decorum. They won't do that. They might think it, but they won't do it.
They're looking respectfully.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, so y'all get up and start to leave. As you do, the dart player steps over. Really, as the rest of you are already walking away, he steps over to Talarius.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me, I don't mean to be a bother. Can I speak to you for a second?
They'll like squint a little bit, and I kind of like look at my allies.
I don't know.
My,
Can you?
My band.
Connor
Give me-
just from the background.
Just give me a moment, guys.
The guy
I'm
cuts his
like,
eyes to you, kind of rolls
sure.
his eyes. May I speak to you for a moment?
No, don't worry about it. He's a bit of a monkey sometimes.
I'm
we do not see
well
you
aware
outside,
of. I'm very familiar with his sort. What were
we
you
do not
saying?
see you outside in 5 minutes. We will come back for you. And she just kind of like tries to herd the rest outside.
You can just stay right here by the door. It's fine. I'm not in any danger. I don't think. I
Yet.
think I'm fine.
The dude shakes you when you say I'm not in any danger. The guy's like, oh no.
Yes, but this one will continue to make smart comments.
Ah,
Yeah,
fair
he
enough.
probably would.
How dare you?
Is it true?
No, I make very dumb comments.
Hilarious has already walked back with this person.
Well, he just sits down in the booth y'all just gotten out of. So.
Sure.
So I've been keeping up with you online. Though I see that you actually made the news a day or two ago.
Don't like gang violence.
You're probably going to see more of that. And other kinds of violence on top of that.
And why is that?
And he said he's still got one of the darts in his hand that he's been kind of twirling.
Uh-huh.
And he stops and he glances up at the butterfly. Shoo. And then he just throws
Does
the
he
dart
actually
at
say
it.
shoot? Okay.
He says shoo, and the butterfly kind of moves its wings and shuffles around a little bit, but stays where it's at. And then he just flicks the dart up there.
Does it hit the butterfly?
It does.
That's kind of rude.
Yeah, she'll get over it.
Huh?
Nothing. Don't worry about it. How's your mother?
Berlanga's been. Mama's been fine.
That's it.
How
What was
do
your
you know
mother's
her?
name? I think I wrote it down. But...
I have it on my sheet if you ever need it.
Yeah, go ahead and give me her name again.
Her name is Berlanga.
Spell
No,
that.
it's literally on my character sheet if you ever look at it.
Oh, I got you. So he would ask about your mother by name.
Yeah. She's fine. I'm still a little confused about this meeting.
Well, these sorts of things can be confusing. I should have already come by and spoken with you, but
Oh, great.
I can't. I can't always get away from the wife long enough, and she's not your biggest fan. Weird, because she watches all your videos, but she's not a fan.
Who are you?
My name is Amor.
I'm more like they snap their fingers like the god.
Yeah, just like that.
Okay.
uh, while you're talking to him, Carrie pulls a chair noisily across the floor, stands up and pulls the dart out of the rafters. You do that again, we're throwing you out. And she walks over to him, makes a gesture, and he has to hand the other 2 darts over to her.
So, Amor, what's this about? And they're like moving their hands between the both of us.
You've never met your father before, have you? And he says it like it's a rhetorical question.
I mean, no. I just assumed he skipped out of town or something. Mom was just fine with me.
Oh yeah, your mother's done a wonderful job. And he pulls out an old photograph and kind of opens it up. You know, where he had it kind of folded closed, opens it up and pushes it across.
Sure.
And it's him, looking the same age that he does now, hugged up on what you recognize as, a younger version of your mother.
Well, that's my mom. Why do you look exactly? You're the actual god of whatever, aren't you?
And as you say that, he's suddenly in a more traditional Greek outfit.
Like
Not
they
full,
close their eyes.
not the full nude like they do in sculptures and stuff, but
Sure. Like
Yeah.
they close their eyes and like they're like exasperated, like furrowing their brow, and then they look up and this is like, oh, that's a yes.
He's got the full wings. He's got the bow and all that.
I'm just gonna whip that out like that here in front of everyone.
You notice none of the rest
is
of
there,
the
like,
patrons in the bar are reacting,
I'm kind of like looking at everyone too, like,
except Carrie is looking over at you, and Antony is looking over at you.
all right.
And then they
Why is
kind of look at
everyone
each other, and Carrie just goes back and checks on checks on one of the customers.
Mm-hmm.
But you can tell Antony is kind of side eyeing you the whole time, but not you.
Amor. So you knew my mother.
Biblically, as some would say.
I don't need to know who biblically knew my mother.
So anyway, like I said, I should have come by and spoken to you sooner. I knew there are some events coming up here in Olympus. Things that you're fated to be involved in. Not just here, kind of. You'll probably do some traveling. I'm sure you realize your new friends are something special.
One of them has a weird staff that like bonks people. The other two have. There's two of them have dogs, and one of them. Well, I don't know about Robert yet. He has a gun, and I guess he's pretty strong.
Well, I can safely tell you that they're all special like you are.
What?
You're being drawn into a larger world. There's a conflict going on. Conflict older than I am. It goes back. It predates human civilization.
Why am I being drawn into it? I'm just a fucking YouTuber.
No, that's just what you're playing at now. You're a child of a god. You just have not come into your.
I imagine they had like some.
Was that?
I was just saying. I imagine they have like something like maybe like that a chip or something. Then a child of a god. They just like drop the chip. I've just not come into my what?
You haven't come into your full power yet. Most of your friends have already started the process, at least. I'm afraid their parents or patrons were a little more punctual than
Involved.
I was.
All right.
Usually, the way this works is you'd be given some task to prove your worth, but you've already begun that. These alpha dogs they're being backed by someone.
One of you? They're like gesturing towards
No, someone that wishes
Dad.
Someone that wishes they were one of us. I can't, in all fairness, give you any more information than that. Your task, your test, if you want to think about it, is to deal with these people. You don't have to do it alone.
I'm looking out towards the outside.
Children like you, Scions, the successful ones at least, often join together in bands, much like we join together in pantheons. It's a rough world out there. It always helps to have friends. Solo acts don't usually last too long. I mean, you have the occasional loners like Mithras that I don't know how that sucker's still around, but anyway, getting distracted.
Sure. I would say if the band is like looking at Telarius at all, if any of them are like still at the door, like they just have like the most dumbfounded expression, trying to like process what's being told.
Were the rest of you standing by the door, or had y'all stepped outside?
Robert would have kind of stayed near the door just in case Telarius might have needed some help.
Yeah, Jaden would have stood by the door, probably a little more inside.
Is there a lamppost nearby?
Outside, there's a street light.
Street light? Yeah, Connor's probably upside down, hanging from the lamppost.
What? No, this is. Get
What?
down from there.
Monkey,
No, I'm fine.
monkey. Do Robert and Jaden see Amorphous fully realized form? Not that I would know at the moment.
No, the rest of you do not see Amor in his full glory.
Mhm.
But something is going on. Something about that guy is really drawing your focus more than it was before. And you see, you saw him take out something and slide it across to Talarius. And as he talked, he's gesturing with his hands a lot. You
And-
saw him kill the butterfly. Or you saw him toss the dart up there. Y'all saw, Carrie get the dart down and take
Mhm.
the other darts from him and all that jazz. But anyway,
So,
cutting
what does
back
this
there,
mean, like the
more.
test?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Go ahead,
So,
Decker.
what does this mean? What does this mean, like my test? How I joined the big boys club?
Kind of. Big
But they're
Persons
already
Club.
in it. Sure.
Uh, I hate to put it this way, but you have to prove your worth. You have to prove that you're worth the investment. We're in a war. Resources are not scarce exactly, but they're not infinite either. So if you
I have
successfully
to
complete this
prove.
task, you'll be given. I'll come speak with you again, and give you a choice as to whether you want to go on as you have been, just a YouTube star,
Uh-huh.
or if you want to step up and take your place in this conflict. A lot of lives ride on the outcome of it.
Aren't a lot of you people very mistrusting of your children?
That happens some. My grandfather, for instance, is very well. He got it from his father, but yes, he's very cautious around his children. He'd be very generous to them, but then when they start succeeding, he can get a little leery of them.
How do I know you're not going to get leery of me if I start succeeding?
It's not really my style.
I don't know your style. I'm just meeting you for the first time.
Well, maybe you should read up on
You
me.
were just the guy throwing darts really well over there.
Calm down. I can't make you any promises about the future. The future is really not my purview.
No, it's love and making love to random mortals, apparently.
I wouldn't call it random. Your mother was special. It's not like I'm running around like my grandfather, just dropping children everywhere. If I was doing that, Psyche probably wouldn't be as
Grandfather.
miffed about you. But if you want to get to know my style of doing things, just study the myths.
But they're myths. You're right here in front of me. I could just, I don't know, ask, or you could give me like the spark notes.
That's not really how things work. Sorry, kid. But and I can't hang around too much longer or I'll start drawing the wrong kind of attention. Attention you're not ready to deal with yet. But anyway, he starts to get up. He takes the picture back, by the way.
Sure.
But anyway, I would stick close to your friends. If things get bad, this place, he gestures around to the bar, can be a bit of a haven for you. Antony at the bar. He's good people.
Did you really have to name it the? Did they really have to name it the Rubicon? Such a weird name. It's too on the nose.
On the nose for what? It's a bar. How is naming it after a river on the nose for a bar?
Where's that river?
I think you know where that river is.
Uh-huh. Whatever. Go be godly or whatever, I guess.
Well, I can't help but do that.
Uh-huh.
And he actually kind of does a little, hands to the side, wings spread. And there's the slightest little flash of light, and then he's just gone. Again, nobody in the
just kinda,
bar
like, sits there.
except
Yeah.
Anthony and Carrie react to that. Though the rest of you
Sure.
see him kind of do the arms wide, and then the light, and he vanishes.
Oh, well,
Hilarious just has their hands steepled.
Mm.
you saw that, right? I didn't. I wasn't the only one that saw that.
Yeah, that's basically how Dad came and went. Although when Dad showed up, he showed up as a monkey and he threw a pin at my head. But
Well, that just raised a few levels of concern for me, but I'll look past that.
what? Oh, come on.
Hilarious just
Tell
gets
me,
up
Robert.
Hilarious gets up wordlessly and just like leaves.
Jaden would have looked at Connor and have been like, "So you're special too." I figured with Sasha, with smooch chums.
Yes.
Okay, all right. Let me put it to y'all this way. Ever since Dad showed up, I have quite literally been looking for you all. Or people like you, anyway.
Hilarious is
Special
outside.
folks.
Sasha kind of walks over and
What on earth are you talking about? I'm just a simple carpenter and handyman.
Uh-huh.
What? I do renovations for a living.
Pulls the
What's
pin out, extends the stick a little bit, and starts poking Robert in the head with it.
just stop it.
What?
She'll go over and are you alright, Hilarious?
Child of a god.
Which one?
Not really the news I was expecting this evening. Amor?
Who's that?
Cupid.
Why don't I just call him Cupid?
Amor.
That's probably
That's
the
the
name
name
he
I was
likes.
given. That's the name I'm gonna use.
That's probably the name he
whatever.
likes to be called.
We'll see which one I feel like using at the time.
So we're like second cousins.
Why? Who are you related to?
Artemis is my mother.
Okay, I don't know a lot about mythology, but that shouldn't be possible.
I was created. So we're like second cousins.
I wasn't really forged. I mean, there's definitely baby pictures of me.
I mean, there's baby pictures of me too.
I mean, the hospital thing where, they're like swaddling a little weird yellow thing.
No. She's like,
Do
let's go walking. I'll explain.
you need to go back inside and ask the tall woman for another drink for you?
No, I have to walk back home. But oh, come on, let's go. I guess we're a band. They like wiggle their fingers a little bit, like mockingly almost.
That's a bad thing.
I mean,
What'd
that
you
is
say?
quite literally why I've been trying to find people like you all.
Well, cheers, bud. You found us.
Yeah, I know, it's great.
Yeah, you sure
Mm.
found us.
I will admit I do feel guilty wrangling some of you into the beginnings of this, but
Psh,
I mean, I'm personally not upset or mad, though I'm still failing to understand what makes me special. But
Connor just extends the staff to the ground as he
So-
hops off the light and slides down it.
you've got a gun.
So no godly being came to you to say, "Hey, listen, I'm your parent."
no,
I mean, that's what
I
happened just there.
I I didn't have that kind of experience. I just know one day my dad pulled me off to the side and handed me this, and he'll pull out the box that he keeps his pistol in. He handed me this one day, and he like shows off the runes and whatnot. And it's like, I have a feeling, I have an idea of where it would be methodically, but it's something hard to believe.
So,
As far as I'm aware, I I, I had my parents are just normal human beings, so after a certain few years after I left the house, mom and dad haven't 100% been the same. They still love each other dearly, but sometimes dad has a look in his eye like he just still can't believe it to this day. So, yeah, my family life's been a bit awkward here lately.
I mean, apparently my just showed up 28 years later, 29 years later.
Yeah, but at least you actually met them. All I've gotten was a gift that's essentially a weapon. Granted, it's a very nice one. As he like opens the box and shows the pistol off a little bit more, it's like it has lovely runes. And yeah. You ever known a pistol that never can run out that doesn't run out of ammunition?
I don't use
No,
guns
but I
really.
imagine that sounds handy.
He'll
I'm
take a
not
moment.
really. Yeah, not really.
He'll like pop the chamber out because again it's just a revolver, so it has the 6-barrel chamber. He'll make one. He'll just flick his wrist a little bit, make at least 2 shells pop up and catch him. About to say he'll click the gun back, but he'll leave where the 2 are exposed, where they should be empty. Give it a second, and 2 bullets just appear in the chamber. Yeah,
Is it like a big dirty hairy revolver or
I wouldn't.
Is it the big baby?
yeah?
It's not no pea shooter looking kind of revolver. It is a bit bigger of a normal
Sure.
pistol.
For my Final Fantasy friends
Hilarious
out there,
has a pea
is
shooter.
it the revolver of the Wanderer?
Yes, but
Oh,
not that long
no.
of a barrel. That barrel is ridiculously long.
Oh,
The snub
man.
nose of the Wanderer.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's like, yeah. Again, judging by the runes, I'm gonna say more Norse mythology. Still doing a little bit of digging, because not even my mother knows anything. So yay, that's fun.
Google?
Well, yes, I have been
Oh.
using Google.
I'll
Fair
just
enough.
get my phone and be like, hey Google, show me the Norse mythology.
Do any of these look like your father?
I apologize to anybody whose Google that device just activated.
One second.
Just kind of look at it.
Phone turn
Mm,
off.
I assume I bring up the Aesir story guide.
Well, if you ask Google to show you an Aesir, it probably brings up a computer.
Yeah.
Do you mean Acer?
I'm sorry.
I hate that. I wish you could see the pure disappointment in my face right now.
That's okay. The artwork I've got up for you probably has about the same eye roll expression on their face.
Yeah.
Uh huh.
Um.
But yeah, you can. I mean, you can pull up Norse mythology stuff on Google without any trouble.
Yeah. I'll just like scroll through like if he's given a weapon, I'm assuming it's like god of creation or the forge. And Tillarius isn't familiar with Norse mythology, so he's just like kind of like looking for like has the autocomplete search where it's like these are the gods of this pantheon or this thing or this thing or this thing. And it'll scroll through them to like the god of the forge and like um
The
Robert.
Norse don't really seem to have a god of the forge per se.
It's like a creator god or something.
Now you had some. You have a lot of dwarves or giants in the mist that make things.
Sure.
But as far as just a Bob god of the forge, they don't really seem to find that. Not like the Greeks have Hephaestus or the West African pantheons had Ogun. You just don't have any of that.
Mm-hmm. Y'all who are watching this, that is a man who knows his mythology.
Mm-hmm. We have a wise man in our midst.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I run a lot of superhero games. Mythology comes up a lot.
Fair.
Yeah, that's true.
Robert will kind of like just squint down, look at your phone, be like, yeah,
Any of those ring
okay.
a bell?
No, wait. And he'll kind of stop scrolling, like, this one right here. That name looks familiar.
Maybe it was an uncle.
Probably
Although that would
not
be even
uncle.
weirder. Well,
Apparently,
not
we're
like
all.
not uncle, but maybe someone that I don't know. Never mind. She just keeps walking.
Hey, wait. What about you?
What about me?
I mean, we're related to someone. What about you?
I mean, smoochums I thought made it obvious.
I don't
Egypt.
know the first thing about mythology. Besides that,
It is
apparently we're
Egyptian.
part of it.
Yes, I got it.
Sure,
Aset.
but which? There it is. A set. I don't know anything about them. Like,
She's often also called Isis.
mm-hmm.
I mean, what else do you want to know?
No, that was it. I'm just something has put us all together. Maybe it's Monkey Boy's insistence.
No, let's hope not.
Well, I mean, this is kind of part and parcel of what my dad wanted me to do.
Well, we have a band. Now what?
Have any of you read Journey to the West?
Actually,
I
yes.
saw the
That was a nice book.
anime. I saw the anime. It was good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you remember what role Wukong played in that?
Yes, I remember.
He went to the west.
Well, he was also meant to be the protector of the monk.
Sure.
Connor just points to himself. Ta-da!
So which of us is Tripitaka?
It ain't gonna be me.
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Catch a monkey by his tail. Da, da, da,
Oh, no.
da, 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 da. And
Either
I'm
way, we all seem to have been brought together by something.
Wait,
Flyers or fate or
will that make me Pixie?
do you want to be Pixie?
No, because yeah, that was a greedy little greedy bugger.
Hold on, rolling a dice.
Oh, Jesus, no.
Oh no.
He's going to
Is it
name
bad to
everyone.
say I've never Me as the person, never seen it.
I mean, there's too many of us to fill out all of the roles.
Connor's count of eeny, meeny, miny, mo stops on Sasha.
I do not want to be. No. I can take care of myself.
I know.
That's what he said.
I did say that.
Just like closing her eyes and taking a deep breath, and keeps walking.
All right.
Connor's
Well,
just whistling
I
merrily.
kind of like look at everybody and like, well, if we're all gonna be together, I mean, the offer's still open if y'all wanna. I mean, I have a lot of room in the apartment. It's like I have the whole second floor to myself, so plenty of rooms for y'all to stay if you want. Apparently, like motioning towards the Rubicon, like thumbing back to it. Like apparently that's a safe haven too.
Your father said that?
Yeah.
Did he say anything else interesting?
He went into more detail than I'd like, or he used more terminology than I'm comfortable with regarding my mother.
Well, if he is your father, he did know
Yeah,
your
yeah,
mother.
yeah, 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 yeah. He said biblically. First
Mhm.
off, wrong pantheon.
I don't think they actually have a pantheon for Christ. Okay, I mean they. She just kind of trails
Catholicism.
off again.
Catholicism is absolutely. This is my hot take. Catholicism is absolutely a pantheon. Anyway,
It was them. They took the old habit of deifying emperors and turned it into saints. So
uh huh, uh huh, uh huh, uh huh.
Oh God. Did
Anyway,
they say anything else?
um, my test. They're using air quotes here. My test is to deal with the alpha dogs. Apparently, somebody with they're still moving their hands like they're you anybody who looked at Amor notices that Telarius talks with their hands pretty similarly as Jeremy is talking with his hands, but you can't see it.
Just lots of
Um,
waving.
very Italian.
Yeah.
Waving.
Very Italian.
Very
Like
Hispanic.
apparently, yes, thank you. Apparently the alpha dogs are being powered by somebody who isn't or who has deific aspirations.
I mean, that sounds about right, given the powers they showed.
Yes, I mean, I know at least this one, and she kind
What
of
powers did they
motions.
show?
She motions to the burn on the side of her face. This one had fire.
Wait, you had to deal with someone that had
Huh?
fire fist too?
Yes, and then my grandfather shot them.
Oh, well, cheers to your old man.
Grandpas are the best, aren't they?
Mine had
Grandpa's
stone-ish
Grandpa's a
skin.
G. Mine didn't exist because I didn't go anywhere. I was busy with the video that I made. Did y'all see it, by the way? Looked great. I kind of like I
No.
pull it up. I pull it up on my phone. It's heavily edited, but it like does like a slow zoom on like when Robert goes to truck that dude,
York.
That was very
and
impressive.
then it makes like a bowling pin. It makes like a bowling pin sound.
Oh, so you went through and
Stuff like that.
Hilarious went through and added sound effects and stuff. Okay.
Oh yeah, they absolutely did.
Please tell me there's like Batman, like zoinks and pows and.
Uh huh. That's
Fantastic.
mostly why it took so long because they were working on that all day.
Oh god.
It is
That's
impressive.
fantastic, but I still shake my head.
Yeah.
I mean that as the person. The
Sure,
character
sure,
is
sure.
probably looking at that like, okay. I didn't realize you actually caught a good shot of me clocking that person, which I'm still surprised I clocked him as well as I did. But anyway, moving on.
I mean that guy went flying. And you like there's like the one where the guy cracks the pull cue over what's his name's head, just cracks it and it's like almost nothing happens.
Yep. Yeah, our buddy here is a bit resilient, ain't he?
I am pretty
Yeah.
hard-headed.
Yeah.
As y'all are talking about this, you start hearing police sirens, and 3 police cars kind of zip by at a decent speed, at a decent pace.
Wonder where
And
they're going.
Hilarious like points. Is like, is that our cue or?
I mean, I can go check it out. I can probably
we
keep
can
up.
go. We can go together.
Don't think we could keep up with either one of them, pointing to like the cop car and Connor. What
And you
direction are
have
they
your
going towards?
vehicle, Robert?
Out of instinct, I would say yes, but that is also the storyteller's transgression of would I have had plenty of time throughout the day to get that repaired?
Oh,
To get
sure,
my-
to get a tire patched or replaced,
Tire
sure, no
tire.
problem.
And then he would be like, "Yes, I've got it right here," and he would like point to the sidewalk where it's currently sitting. I'll
It just
happily
Choose
give
cyber
us a
the-
punks
lift.
in.
Choose the Robert Mobile? Question mark. They have their arm raised in a like joke half-assed in the air, like to the Robert Mobile. And they get in the back seat. And it's kind of
Okay.
like,
It's easier for y'all to fit in there without the doggos.
Yeah,
Yes.
Connor would be taking the not street route as he just launch himself up onto roofs, and he'd be taking the rooftop.
follow that monkey.
It still takes quite a bit of effort to keep up with the police cars.
Yeah.
Anytime they have to take a lot of turns, you can kind of cut straight across the rooftops
Yeah.
and kind of make up some of that. But in straightaways, they're a bit faster than you.
Fortunately, Epic Dexterity does give a speed bonus, and my movement dice is maximized, so I am maximum speed monkey.
Maximum effort.
Yeah.
Uh,
So you just wait till I get the Epic Dexterity boon of Heavenly Stride. I can move so fast.
be like the old 80s, 90s Captain America, where he's just running
Yeah.
across street corners, leaping across entire streets from one rooftop to the next.
Yeah.
But you follow him to one of the nicer neighborhoods in town. And by the time you get there, there's fire trucks there. There's a house on fire. It seems to be what it is. But there's several other police cars already there. The police are taping the area off. A lot of neighbors are gathered up, kind of across the street trying to see what's going on. There's already a news van there.
Do we recognize the area?
It's one of the nicer spots. One of the high society kind of residences.
Socialite place.
So none of us live there.
It's the
No.
ledges.
Okay.
It's the ledges. Wrong campaign. Wrong campaign.
Not,
You know.
I was gonna say not quite that bad, but yeah, actually it kind of is. I mean, it's not the gated community kind of thing,
That fancy though.
but it is the fancier part of town.
Lots of doctors and Civil War vampires.
Doctors, professors.
Mm-hmm.
World War One.
Otter
vampires.
has redeemed a hydrate,
The
but
soda
I am
can.
unfortunately out of drink.
Can't see-
It's technically liquid.
You can't see
Yeah.
it. I am drinking tea.
I'll have to fake it.
Glug,
Make it
glug,
till you make
glug,
it.
glug, glug.
Chug,
I've
chug.
already gone through my 3 sodas.
God.
Oh, jeez. I just have one. This was like an all-day thing.
So thank you for that, Otter. We would hate to dry out while we're playing.
Thank you.
So anyway, y'all pull up, or do y'all drive by? Like I said, actually the street's kind of blocked off, so the cops are kind of waving you down, telling you to turn around.
Connor on the roof, on the other hand.
Well, I've been landing on house roofs.
Yeah. He's gonna Can you see like anybody still in there, or
You see some of the firefighters trying to get to the front door, but when they bust the front door open, fire spews out and they kind of duck away.
Mhm.
They scream back to one of the trucks, and one of the guys attaches a ladder and brings it over.
Um,
The way they're talking and gesturing, you think
hilarious.
there may still be somebody in like the second story.
okay, he's gonna look in the second story, see if he can see anybody in the windows.
All right, what were you trying to say, Deca?
I was gonna say it's hilarious. Will like kind of like crane their head out from the back of the truck and be like, I think one of my friends is in there, and I definitely need to get him his medication. It's an emergency. He's lying, or they're lying.
On fire, isn't that enough of an emergency?
Let's have. Robert's not who I needed. Connor. All right, so you're at a position where you can basically look straight across at the second story.
Yeah.
So give me.
Ow.
Let's see. Probably resolve. All right, let's see. Power, finesse, or resilience.
This be more of a finesse thing.
Yeah, so probably your cunning.
Okay.
And there's really not a spot skill.
Could I make the argument to use his subterfuge because he's used to spotting hidden details when he lived out on the streets?
Yeah, we'll let you do that.
I will be right back.
All right.
One success.
You can you're looking through probably a bedroom window,
Mm-hmm.
one of those kind of a bay window, It's like probably a big window on the master bedroom.
Yeah.
There are curtains. There's a curtain drawn, but it's clearly not very thick.
Mm-hmm.
You can see light behind it, the flickering. There's obviously some fire.
Yeah.
You think you can make out a darkened area up top where the room is probably filling with smoke.
Mm-hmm.
You think you see the silhouette of a person. It looks like they're trying to get another person up off the floor.
Is that okay? Okie dokie. Yeah, Connor's gonna take a kerchief he keeps in his pocket and wrap it around his mouth and nose. And then he's just gonna plant the Jingu Bong on the wall of the building adjacent. Just hold on. He's just gonna extend it and just launch himself at the window.
Kind of gripping it with one hand on the very top of the staff, so that when it goes forward, it pulls him.
Yeah, basically.
All right. So you launch yourself forward.
Yourself into window.
Basically.
And while you're doing that, I believe Telarius was lying their ass off.
Absolutely.
So give me
just
a
like,
persuasion.
My friend's in there, and
A persuasion and cunning would probably be the most likely.
Cunning
one.
persuasion.
Yes, cunning
Sure.
persuasion. Or persuasive cunning, whatever.
And then I get an extra dice. Yeah, sure. I get an extra dice because
Words of honey.
Words of honey. Yeah. All right. Cunning. Persuasion. 2 successes. Does that rolls that already? That's 3, 5. No, it doesn't.
What do you roll? What extra were you rolling?
Because it's my specialty, so it gives me
I
another
believe that
success,
if
or
that
does it
counts
give
as
me
an
another die?
enhancement, that gives you an extra success as long as you roll at least one success.
Okay, then
Yeah.
I'm at 3 successes then.
Alright.
Which that would have been a success anyway. So yeah.
Yeah, it's 3 successes. So all right. The officer. Oh right, the officer's probably got to roll. Oh yes. And one thing we've been forgetting to do was re-roll tens because dice explode in this.
I didn't get any 10s.
The officer got 2. His only 2 successes were both tens, but he didn't get any successes
Okay.
on the re-roll, so you still beat him.
Sure.
He's like, "Oh crap! All right. Come, you come on through. Stay out of the firefighters' way. As soon as they pull your buddy out, you can try to get him his medicine. Don't go running into the house. That would only cause more problems."
Sure. Of course.
And then both of you see,
they'll-
Chaos Monkey Boy go across the street.
Was that a bottle rocket?
No,
Knowing
a dude
full
with a
well it's
stick.
Connor.
Is he pole vaulting? What is the? It's a long
I-
stick.
I don't know. You'd better like there's something going on. You probably need to go check that instead of
Well, no,
doing
I
this here.
gotta man the street here and make sure nobody else tries to come through here and clog anything up.
There's a weird guy going through the windows. How are you gonna stop?
I think some of the other officers have already spotted him. You see several of the other police officers going.
I assume it's like a weird dog head tilt.
Connor, give me a athletics dexterity roll.
Sure.
Your acrobatics would probably count into this.
Athletics. Okay, I'll re-roll that 10.
Oh boy.
Yeah, it's a shame it doesn't auto re-roll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so 4 successes total.
Wait, hang on a second. It may have auto re-rolled. How
Okay.
many dice do you have for this particular roll?
10.
Yeah, it's just his roll.
I have maximum dice expenditure for this because my athletics and my dexterity are both 5s.
But it's got 9. It's got 11 numbers listed.
Oh, it might have.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
it
okay,
does.
I think it does auto re-roll.
Okay. It
All
does auto re-roll.
Oh, nice.
That's good to
All right,
know.
Sweet. So still 4 successes.
Yes, because you have your athletics or your acrobatics rather.
Mhm.
So yeah, you hit that bay window just perfectly square. Feet first. It shatters inwards.
He's gonna recall the Jingle Bong into his hand and behind the ear.
There's an older gentleman trying to get a lady up off the floor, probably his wife. But he's coughing. She looks like she's unconscious. He's coughing. And there's smoke everywhere.
Yeah.
Fire is just kind of licking up under the door. Enough that it's kind of lighting the room, but he gives a big start when he sees you bust in like that. He starts kind of flinging one arm at you, screaming between his coughs, screaming at you to get away from him.
I'm gonna try to get you out. Don't worry about it.
Oh, you're not with the. You're not with Dorrance. Okay.
Never mind. You can tell me later. And he'll superior strength, just wife.
You hit it back to the window. The old fella's able to follow you.
Mm-hmm. He'll look out. Are there any firefighters or policemen down there?
As you are stepping out on the, it's got like a front porch that looks like it goes around the entire house.
Mhm.
So you step out of that window, kind of onto the roof over that porch.
Yeah.
Just as you kind of get out there to the edge, the firefighters are slapping the ladder down. And you hear one of them starting to climb up.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
A second later, you see the helmeted head pop over the edge, and he looks surprised.
Hi. She's unconscious.
Okay, we need to get her down. Here, and we'll get her looked at. Pass her to me, and he kind of puts her across his back and starts back down.
Yeah, and he'll look over the old guy and is like, "You want some help down?"
Yes, please. I'm not as. He's looking at the light. I'm not as spry as I used to be.
Oh, that's fine. And he'll pick him up, and then he'll go over to the railing, extend the Jenga bong down to the ground, and he'll just slide down the pole with the old guy just over his shoulder.
I'm picturing you doing kind of a spiral down it.
Maybe a little bit.
Whee!
Not too many, but there's maybe like 2.
The old guy's gripping you tight. He's still coughing, but he's like, ugh. So clearly he was expecting you to like help him onto the ladder, but
Nah, this is faster.
yeah, you actually beat the firefighter down doing that.
Yeah, and then he'll land, help set the old guy down. He'll recall this pole and into his ear.
Some of the other firefighters run up. They start helping. They start helping the older fellow. As soon as the one on the ladder gets down, they rush her off.
Is anybody else in there?
The old man is coughing too much to talk, but he's shaking his head no.
Okay.
A couple of the fire trucks are starting to spray water through that window. A couple of the firefighters down on the ground floor taking their axes and they're like busted out windows and they're spraying water in that way.
Okay.
Word gets
Connor,
around that the old man said there wasn't anybody else in there. So
yeah, Connor will actually go with the old guy, and once they kind of get his breathing stable a little bit, he'll ask him like, "Hey, who did you confuse me with?"
The man that broke in and set the fires, he was supposed to be dead. His name was James Dorrance.
James Dorrance?
Yeah, he was in charge of a fraternity that I was in charge of up early. Because I'm a dean at crap, I haven't given the college a name yet. I'm a dean over at the college, and James ran this fraternity that they were doing a lot of hazings and stuff. There was
Alpha Dogs?
Yes, I believe that's what they called themselves. Alpha Beta
Yeah.
Omega. They've been in the news the last couple of days.
Yeah. I've had the displeasure of running into them a few times.
Oh, you must be one of those folks that was fighting him in that house. Yeah, I've seen that video.
Yeah, they decided to ram a truck through my grandfather's dojo and attack us there too. And then I knocked them unconscious. But
but yeah, we thought when we shut it down, they responded by throwing a big party at their frat house. But the frat house wasn't on college property. That was we couldn't stop them from throwing a party. But
where's that at?
He tells you what part of town. He doesn't know the address off the top of his head.
Okay. Was it that house we
no,
that part of town? Okay.
But he goes on that the cops it got out of hand and the police showed up and some of the frat boys kind of fought back and there was a big fire at the house and everybody assumed James had died. Though he never did hear them actually recovering his body out of the wreckage.
Okay.
While he's talking, the top floor of his house starts collapsing in on the bottom floor.
Well, I hope you didn't have anything interesting in there.
Me and my wife have lived there for 15 years. Lots of keepsakes. We're both out. Thank you for that.
Yeah, no problem.
We'll be all right. But keepsakes are valuables, but
Nothing more valuable than you. And he'll just like tap the guy on the head.
indeed. And the police. By this point, the police have come up. They start asking kind of the same things you asked him. One of the officers asks who you are,
Oh, I'm Connor.
and you have a couple of the officers. The one you're talking to doesn't click with that name right away. All right, Connor, what last name?
Oh, Hughes.
That name sounds familiar for some reason.
No, well, the guy who set house on fire apparently led the guys that I've fought before.
Oh, you're one of those.
He's doing the crazy finger motions at the same time.
Oh, you're one of those folks that have been brawling these guys. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
How were you always where they're at?
Well, my friends are actually at the bar, and we saw the police cars go by, and I got curious, so I headed this way.
About this time, Talarius is walking up.
Hey, buddy.
Talarius goes to the old man. It's like, oh, I'm sorry. I thought I would give, and I like sleight of hand. I like fake sleight of hand, like a Smarties.
Connor watching this, having specialized in sleight of hand, going, the fuck?
Yeah.
And the officer talking to you is looking at it. The officer talking to the old man's looking at Talarius. Everybody's looking at Talarius.
I'm sorry. This is just it's a long story, but I'm here now, and is everything all right?
The old man's like, I think I'm going to be okay now. I'm concerned about my wife. Who are you?
Oh, that's my
Talarius
friend.
Moriad. Friend. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for
Both
your concern, I
equally.
guess.
Sure.
And then he starts coughing again, and the EMT's like, all right, back up.
All right.
Gives him some,
I got it.
gives him the little oxygen thing.
Me
One of the
Talarius,
masks where you
buddy,
can
I
still
love-
talk to the police. But,
Sure.
he answers a few more questions to the police, and then he kind of insists on making his way over to where his wife's at. They've got her on a stretcher. They've got, giving her oxygen. They're loading her up to get her to the hospital. Smoke inhalation seems to have been a little worse on her. You hear the old man telling him, oh, yeah, rattling off some respiratory problems she has anyway. So. What are the rest of you doing? Talarius bluffed his way in. Connor just sort of jumped in. What are the rest of y'all doing?
Sasha's gonna hang back.
Okay.
She'll be
Now, like I said,
looking
there's a
around,
crowd
seeing
of people across the street watching everything.
Yeah, she's gonna look at the people watching just to see if anyone sticks out.
Robert's just gonna make sure the trucks or vehicles in park, just kind of ready if he's gotta peel out for any reason. Just kind of,
Okay.
just kind of sitting back.
And Jaden?
To the crowd and kind of blend in.
Okay. So what I'm picturing is Jaden, is actually just walking up, kind of getting into the crowd. Sasha's a little bit away from, just a little bit on her own away from the crowd, kind of watching the crowd.
Yeah.
Jaden, you get into the crowd, you hear people, several of them seem relieved that they saw him pull the dean out. Some of them are in like slippers and house coats. It very much seems to be the neighbors and just folks in the community. You see one couple that were clearly out walking their dogs. When this kind of went down. Sasha, you see, you see the same mix of people. There's two guys kind of at the back of the crowd. drinking beer as they're watching all this.
Are they? Do they look like they belong in this kind of neighborhood?
Um, they don't stick out too badly.
Okay.
I mean, they're not dressed. I mean, they're very much in casual clothes, but nothing that looks like cheap or ratty or anything like that.
Okay.
One of them's a fairly big guy, almost as broad as he is tall. Got kind of a beard.
None of them look like the folks that threw the bricks at her grandparents' place.
The other guy drinking beer is probably about that same age, kind of that same, you know.
Yeah.
And true, for those guys were some of those guys were dressed about like this guy. By which I mean not, they weren't necessarily in cheap, ratty clothes.
Well, like business casual.
No, these guys are just in kind of casual clothes.
Okay.
But it's name brand sneakers. They don't
Yeah.
nothing about them seems cheap.
She'll kind of make her way into the crowd too, but shift her appearance just enough to not look like herself.
Okay. You hear several people talking. If you get close to those two guys in the back, they're making snide comments and kind of snickering.
Okay.
You can tell the big guy with the beard is a little bit older than the other one. The other guy's in his early or mid-20s. This dude maybe in his mid-30s.
She doesn't know about the story with the guy not surviving the fire, but do either of them have any distinguishing features or burns or scars or?
Not really, no.
Okay.
Like I said, how broad and kind of big that one guy is, makes him stick out a little bit. But
Yeah. Okay. She's just gonna kind of hang near that area and listen, especially to any comments they would make.
like I said, they're making snide comments about about the old man. Clearly, they're not a big fan of him. One of them talks about how he'd wondered why James came himself, but yeah, none of the rest of the guys can do that.
Okay. Yeah, she's gonna make a note of that name and definitely burn those two guys' appearance and like features and everything into her head. Probably if she can, if there's enough light to do so without a flash, she might snap a picture of them. No, she's gonna try and snap a picture if she knows she can do it without a flash.
Okay.
It's Japan. This isn't Japan.
She's gonna act like she's taking a picture of the fire, but maybe
But she's
they
got the
put it in
phone
a
turned
frame.
around, so it's really like a selfie kind of over her shoulder to catch them.
Like, oh damn it, the selfie camera was on, and flips it around.
They watch the fire another minute or two, finish their beers, and the bigger guy's like, "Okay, let's go. I think we've seen everything we need to see here." By this point, the ambulances have pulled off. He takes his beer can, crushes it, and just drops it on the ground. The other guy just kind of crushes his, squishes it a little bit and throws it down.
Rude. Tosses them into the nearest garbage can.
Somebody else in the crowd's like, "Yeah, that was what a bunch of assholes."
I know, right? Do they live around here?
I've seen the big guy before, but I don't know his name. I think maybe his folks live around here.
Oh, unfortunately, money cannot buy class. Goes back with the other folks.
And once the ambulances are gone, several of them, like the folks with the dogs, they eventually kind of head on their way. the police step over to the crowd and just ask, did anybody see this start? But everybody's like, the house was on fire when they noticed it and stepped out. One lady that identifies herself as basically living in the house that y'all are all standing in front of, sounds like she was the first one to spot it and called it in. But and she says she saw somebody leaving the house.
Did they look like this?
Basically saw him, step out, get into a car, and drive off.
The neighborhood as well off as this. I would assume people have security systems.
Well, she knows she does. Well, she's talking to the cops, not to you specifically. But yeah, it would be a pretty safe bet. You would think. And if you say something to that person that was already talking to you, she'd be like, "Oh yeah, as far as I know, everybody around here's got something."
Good.
I mean, it's a pretty quiet neighborhood usually.
I'm sure they will catch the culprit if this was done maliciously.
Mm-hmm. She goes, "Well, I certainly hope so." I mean, we've been hearing about ruckuses in other parts of town, but that's the poorer parts of town. You kind of expect it. And then she looks at your clothes.
No offense.
Just kind of smiles and, well,
It's not a
said money
judgy
cannot
look. It's
buy-
like, oh. Like she may have put her foot in her mouth a little bit.
As I said, money cannot buy class. Good evening.
Yeah, you have a good evening too. So how long do y'all stay watching the fire? The police talk to Talarius and Connor for a little bit longer, but
Yeah. I think pretty much as soon as the cops are done speaking, I'll try to converge with the rest of the band.
well, they all kind of over to one side. Like I said, the crowd starts to disperse after a while. The firefighters get the house is obviously a total loss.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Let's see. Connor would probably hop up on probably on top of the cab of the truck. He likes perching on things.
Actual cat.
Robert just slowly rolls his window down. Like it up there?
Yeah, it's comfy.
So's the cushioned seats in the cab, but alright.
Yeah.
They're real imitation leather.
You're not wrong.
So I learned some interesting stuff while I was in there.
All right, so y'all, let's say y'all all eventually group back up at the truck.
Yeah.
Connor's just sort of rocking back and forth as he's just sitting on top of the cab. I said I was making this character Chaos Monkey energy. I wasn't lying.
All right, so
Yeah.
all you load back up. What
Yeah.
exchanging of info do y'all want to do?
What'd you learn?
Well, apparently, whomever started this fire is probably connected to the Alpha Dogs.
Ah, goody. Just what we need.
Apparently, the dean recognized a guy who should be dead.
Okay.
He apparently burned alive at a frat party that got out of control, but they never found a body.
As one does.
James something. I forgot his last name already.
One of the men in the crowd mentioned a James.
Did they?
Yes, and she'll pull up the picture she took. The taller one.
It's not a great picture. But it's enough. It's enough. You'd recognize the big guy if you saw him again.
Would Jaden recognize anybody in the picture?
No, it was not any of the guys that showed up at. Oh, wait a second. All those got away. Let's see.
Yeah, there was a big guy named Mike.
You do not recognize the big guy. You think the one next to him may have been one of the guys that came in with Mike.
Giselle, the smaller one was at my job. Yesterday.
No longer coincidences. This is just assholes.
Well, this goes beyond asshole a little bit, don't you think?
As like the top half of the building's like missing now.
Well, it's
Yeah.
not missing. It's just where the bottom half was.
Uh-huh. Yeah, you're probably right.
This was attempted murder. Probably would have been murder, actually, if I hadn't gotten in there.
How quickly did the fire go up? 'Cause, I mean, doesn't a fire typically take some time to build?
Depends on the accelerant you use.
Didn't you guys say you guys fought? You and Robert fought people with fire hands?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
If it's supernatural or godly of sorts.
Just because you can produce a fire, you would still need an accelerant, perhaps, but
Unless she went around and started putting fires everywhere, and it just
also
caught
possible.
up real fast. Like a forest fire, you light one and it just spreads. Now everything's on fire.
Robert would sit there and probably ponder for a second. Yeah. Did the dean mention at all that how long he's been in this house? Out of curiosity.
About 15 years.
15 years.
He did tell me where that frat house was, at least the area of town, too.
He'd like lean over, start rummaging through his glove compartment. He'd pull out like a building standard book and just kind of thumb through it real quick, thinking of the materials that might have been used. If they'd been older materials, they probably would have been coated with certain lovely things that people don't want to be in houses no more.
Asbestos.
15 years ago, it's probably not
Well,
that bad.
Probably not that bad, but then again,
Of course, that's how long they've been there. You don't know how long the house has been there.
house has been there, so
Uh,
taking a rough ballpark guess, there could have been some other chemicals in play that most people may have forgotten about. Like,
and you
well,
could also
yeah,
you could always talk to the firefighters the next day and see what kind of information you get out of them.
true. But this is
Because
just Robert
arson
speculating.
investigators will definitely be on scene, before long.
Oh yeah.
All right. Well, I think this is enough sleuthing for one day. Maybe we should just come back at it tomorrow with the nice long rest. Again,
Oh.
I am offering my abode. If we need a central area to like put our brains together.
Robert kind of looks at time, thinks about it. I'll just stick with you tonight. I'll just drop everybody off, and whoever needs to go further on past, well, you'll have to find your own means of transportation.
I'll call you an Uber if you need it. The rooms also. I also made sure the rooms are pet friendly. I mean they were already pet friendly, but like I said, I own that second floor, so it's pet friendly.
I'll check up on my grandparents and then I will take you up on that. I'm concerned that they're trying to redecorate my apartment.
I would Between you and me, I'd probably let them. You look so surprised with the furniture.
You don't need a lot.
I entertain guests. Yes, I do. Not frequently, but
Why did you
when
just
I
sound like
do.
a Doctor Who book? Not Doctor Who, Dr. Seuss. That's the word.
Doctor Who book. I've read a Doctor Who book. I don't know. I think all this has been a lot today. Okay,
It
Yeah.
has been a lot, especially for you.
so let's go get go where you need to go. I'll get Ubers for whoever needs to go where, and we'll reconvene in the morning. I guess to the Robert Mobile.
Oh, quick question, you all.
Huh?
So I've always been more of a fighting type. Well, I kind of am more of a fighting type than anything else.
Is this a
Quick into
Pokemon question?
action, all that. No shush. Pat pat. If this band
Continue.
thing works out long term, y'all don't mind me, even though y'all probably don't need it, kind of just being your protector, right?
I mean, if you just want to, I won't argue the fact. God knows if they come back at me when I go back to my job site again.
I mean, I can't be
Oh, nothing.
everywhere, of course, but
Oh, no, I understand that.
but fighting's in my blood.
It's mostly why I suggested we all stay together.
Yes, but what if they find out where you live and decide to light the place on fire? Now
Then we're all there to kick their ass.
Now we're all in one location in a house that's on fire.
I've got a sprinkler system. It's fine.
That's true. The dean did not have a sprinkler system.
Uh-huh.
While y'all are
it's
talking
like
about
the
this,
office.
Sasha gets a phone call.
Considering she probably only has like 3 numbers in her phone, she's like, does she recognize the number?
That's your grandmother's number.
Okay. Oh, my grandmother. Hello?
Hey, hon, just wondering if you were coming home tonight,
Mm,
or if you're going to
definitely
be
going.
staying with your friend.
She was like looking a bit conflicted. Would you prefer that I stay there?
Oh no, it's fine. I mean, me and your grandfather don't want to think that we ran you out of your house, or we could always
No,
go back
no.
home.
No, the officer said it would possibly be better for you to stay away from the nursery for a few days until they figure out what's going on. I mean,
Well, we just noticed that
you,
it was nice of you to let us stay, but then you immediately went to stay somewhere else.
no, you didn't run me out. I just didn't want you to feel like I was babysitting you. I don't know.
Oh, okay. Well, I went out and bought some fabric today.
You did.
So if you can come by, I mean, you don't have to rush back tonight, but if you come by tomorrow, we might talk about some curtains or something. I mean, I don't know, just it's something for me to do while I'm here.
I'd love to. Do you want me to leave Smoochums with you, or?
Oh no, I think he really misses you.
Okay, I will come get him. I will see the fabric.
All right.
Do you need me to pick up anything on my way home for you?
No, I think we got
Okay.
we've got the refrigerator pretty well stocked, or the kitchen pretty well stocked.
Okay. I will swing by shortly.
It's hilarious with their thumbs up as Sasha says swing by. Now you're using vernacular from this millennium.
She's just looking like, oh no.
Connor up on the top of the cabin just grinning.
I'll see you soon. Love you. Bye bye.
All right, so as y'all are driving away with this big fire in the background, we'll cut there. because we're right at 9.
Yeah.
Uh,
My phone's also at 4%, so.
so probably
We
pretty
gotta
good
go.
timing because we were about to lose you anyway.
Yeah.
So anyway, hope y'all had fun. I did. I certainly did. Thank everybody that was watching. Order for the hydration.
Mm-hmm.
Be back here tomorrow. Should be a Monster of the Week game.
Yeah.
We've missed a couple. Hopefully, we'll be back on track tomorrow.
Mhm.
Let's see. That's Wednesday. Thursday should be Descend into Avernus, which is Maddie's 5e game.
Going through the blood scab.
Oh, that just sounds lovely.
It's great.
I several times called it Flesh Castle.
Just wait till you
I'm
try
sure you
to
were asked
do
not to.
one thing very wrong. It gets fun if you do.
We'll see.
But
Me
anyway,
having DM that campaign.
So that is Descend into Avernus on Thursdays. Nobody on Friday. We have the Stolen Cities on Saturday, which is also 5th edition. Then back on Monday with Cap's Troubleshooters, also 5th edition. A lot of 5th edition.
They only have a handful of episodes left too.
Do they? Oh, that's right. That they were doing a
He's
relatively
doing it-
short series.
He's doing it like in seasons, I
Mhm,
think.
mhm. And then Tuesday we'll be back here with The World at War. So thank
More
all
beating
y'all,
up
and
on-
we'll see you next time.
Goodbye.
Bye.
You can't see me waving, but I'm waving still.
Waving in spirit.